has changed everything. But those who jumped in too quickly and invested in everything that looked remotely promising lost everything. Why? As always happens, innovation's evil twin showed up to crash the party. Despite its game-changing potential and all the talk about a new economy with a new set of rules, the old rules prevailed. And most of the bleeding-edge early adopters and the first-to-market companies, the darlings of the investment community, crashed and burned. Why innovation gets such good press. So if failure is such an integral part of innovation and change, why even bother with it at all? Why does something so wrought with pain and disappointment get such good press? One reason is the influence of a niche industry that has become big business. Billions are spent each year on seminars, training events, and books that promise success to leaders, and pretty much anyone else, who are willing to take a big risk to try something radically new. If you want to fill a room, sell lots of books, and charge up the troops, it's counterproductive to point to a high failure rate. In fact, it's a guaranteed way to cut down on sales and limit speaking engagements, so no one talks about it. Instead, the motivational gurus focus on stories of against-all-odds success and ignore the many casualties along the way. A second reason why innovation gets such good press is that most failures aren't all that spectacular or important. We never hear about them because they aren't newsworthy. A huge percentage of new initiatives never even get off the ground, and among the few that do, many crash and burn with little fanfare. Why? Because if these failures aren't connected with our company or our employer or something that makes the national news, we aren't likely to notice them. The same holds true for new businesses, church plants, and other startups. There are countless failures. Think of the trendy new clothing store in the local mall. It used to be a Chinese takeout. Before that, it was a boutique wine shop. Each of these changes represents a failed dream, a likely bankruptcy, and a ton of heartache and soul-searching. But if it wasn't our dream, our bankruptcy, and our heartache, we aren't likely to have noticed. A third reason why innovation gets such good press is simply human nature. We don't like to think about negative things, even if they're inevitable. How many people do you know who adequately plan and prepare for their death? The odds that we will die are astronomical, but most of us would rather not think about this inevitability, at least not right now. It's the same with failures of innovation and leadership. They surround us, but we'd rather not think about them. We chalk up the failures of others to foolish ideas, bad planning, or inept leadership. We think we are different. We can't imagine the possibility that the changes we champion and the great ideas we have just might not be so great after all. We're sure that our ideas will succeed where others have failed. This helps to explain why the dirty little secret of failure remains such a well-kept secret. Motivational gurus don't want us to think about it, and even though failure is incredibly common, most of these failures don't hit close enough to home to notice. On top of that, we'd rather not think about it or plan for it. It's not as exciting and sexy as dreaming and thinking about our latest idea for the next big thing. Yet that raises an important question, the question that drives this book. How is it that some people and organizations seem to defy the odds? How is it that some folks successfully innovate and change time after time? How do they overcome their failures? How do they maximize their successes? What is it that sets them apart? What do they know, and what do they do that others don't? Chapter 2. Unconscious Competence. Why you shouldn't trust everything innovators tell you about innovation. Some innovators are one-hit wonders. They're like a band with a catchy tune that goes viral. They score huge success and then are never heard from again. Consider the infamous pet rock. In 1975, Gary Dahl and his friends sat in a bar grumbling about their high-maintenance pets. Out of their grumbling, Dahl came up with the idea for a new pet, a pet rock. It would never need to be groomed, fed, or cared for.